Welcome back to another episode of JailBreak Overlander. I'm Richie, and this is JailBreak. And in this episode, I'm in Arizona, as you can see. Now, if you follow this channel for any length of time, you've seen me put myself in extremely precarious, exotic locations all over the United States. Places where getting into big trouble was easy to do. You've seen it time and time again. These are called shelf roads, roads that are on the sides of mountains where there are no guardrails, and if you screw up, you're going over. Now, I thought I'd seen them all until I found this one particular road in Arizona, and this thing scared the life out of me. Even if you don't love off-roading, you're going to love the footage because it's absolutely beautiful. You're going to want to sit back, relax, and check this out. Okay, so while I was in Arizona, I got a chance to hook up with a lot of good people and do a lot of really good trails. Tough trails. These are no joke, as you can see right here. Incredibly rocky trails, really foliage-covered trails. Trails out in the middle of nowhere. I'm used to that stuff. No big deal. We got trails with huge boulders while you're going down an incline or a decline. I've done it before, I'll do them again. That's why the truck has so much armor on it. She can handle it. But the trail that I found that scared me the most is the trail that I found on my own. And I was alone when I did it. Of course, because why wouldn't I? The trail that I found started out in a town called Skull Valley, Arizona. Skull Valley is a very small town, and the name of the town comes from the original settlers finding skulls of Navajo and Apaches all over the place, hence the name Skull Valley. Now, with a name like that, what could possibly go wrong? I swung open the gate and I headed in the afternoon, with darkness coming soon, completely and utterly alone. What could go wrong? Now, like I've said, and like you've seen in past videos, I've done tons of shelf roads. The difference was, this one was several miles long, and it was covered with obstacles like this. Large rock climbs that you had to do while on the edge of a cliff that went down at times to 1,000 or more feet. There's no room for error. And the worst part is, I had gotten my King shocks rebuilt at a local shop, and for whatever reason, whether the owner didn't know what he was doing or just didn't pay attention, my shocks blew out. And in this video, you can watch one of them blow out, which causes the truck to tilt precariously towards the cliffside. I was not stoked whatsoever at all. Driving on a several mile long shelf road in Arizona. I don't know where I am. Nobody else knows where I am. And I've only seen a side-by-side go by. One. This road is tight. Now, maybe you can or maybe you can't tell how straight down that drop-off is, but it's straight down. And the thing that prompted me to make this video is This is the first time I've been on a shelf road that is so desolate, so long. It's several miles long, and I don't know the road. So the further I go, I have no idea how bad it's going to get coming up. And it got bad. Now I found this little spot to pull over, or just stop in the middle of the trail actually, as you can see. And I found it strange that here is where somebody decided to set up an old refrigerator many, many years ago and then just light it up. Because apparently that's what they do around here, which is cool. I have no issues with that. I just found it to be a very strange place that somebody was on this trail carrying a refrigerator simply to dump it off the side of the road, and then either they or others have shot it up over the years. It's hard to tell. And just a reminder, this is where I am. This is why I'm making this video. I've been on this road for over a mile and I still have several miles to go, and this is what's below and above. It's straight up and straight down. No place to turn around and nobody knows where I am, and I have no idea what's coming up in front of me. So again, what could possibly go wrong? When I wasn't worrying about when will this trail end or how will this trail end, I did take advantage of my perspective. I'm at the top of a mountain looking down at the junipers and the cactus. It was a beautiful day, and for some reason, nobody else was on this trail. That kind of bothered me. And then the name Skull Valley kind of bothered me too, I'm not going to lie. But I was all alone up here. And with the sun getting low into the mountains, I had to make up some time because I had no idea how much longer I was going to be on this trail. And I certainly did not want to camp on this trail overnight. So I had to make up some time. The good thing about the mountains is it reminds you of your place on Earth. You're just a tiny speck in this big old place. And it helps remind you of that. Keep that in mind, or don't. It's funny how the camera makes everything look so smooth, but pay attention to the truck bouncing around violently right here. Every one of those bounces feels 10 times worse when you're sitting in the driver's seat. It feels like you're going right over the edge. It's quite the trip. If you've never done it, you can't understand what I'm saying. But there's an idea. The camera under the truck gives you a pretty good view of how close to the edge I am. This trail is, I believe, a side-by-side or an ATV trail, not necessarily a truck trail. And I didn't find that out till after the fact, as usual. And if you pay attention right over my shoulder, you can see the sun is almost down behind the mountains. So the anxiety level is going up right here, believe it or not. I have lights to drive at night, but I don't know where I am, and I don't know where I'm going to come out. I went in Skull Valley miles ago and have not a clue where I am right now. The view from up here was amazing, and I did stop and take it all in. But the problem was, the trail just kept going on forever, off into the mountains. I was way too far to turn back now, especially with the sun almost behind the mountains. As soon as the sun sets, the temperature drops exponentially and it gets really dark, especially out here when the only light is the sun. So I had to hustle. When I got to a certain point on the mountain, I noticed the trail texture changed. It went from very rocky to sandy, which gave me hope that I was coming out someplace, any place, just off of this trail. I kind of put the hammer down and was using the drone to spot me. The drone gave me the ability to see what was up around the corners ahead of me, as well as to videotape. So I took advantage of it. Always use whatever tools you have at your disposal. It helps out a lot. But right now, the hell with tools, drones, lights, etc. I needed to get off this trail one way or the other. There was no place to camp. There was no place to pull over. I was in a bit of a fix. And I'll tell you what, I ain't scared of heights, snakes, or red-headed women. But having to rush on a trail where you don't know where you are or where you're going will drive your anxiety level up exponentially. You think being married's bad? Try being in the high desert with nightfall coming and you don't know where you are. So the sun is setting and I'm driving and I'm flying the drone and I'm watching my cameras and I'm watching the trail. and it just does not relent. It doesn't end. It keeps going, and somehow I'm still always on a cliff face pointing straight down. It just doesn't end. No exaggeration. I mean, look for yourself. That is straight down. Surely this trail had to come to an end at some point. It had to. Because at this point, I'm starting to think this is some sort of voodoo or Native American magic to trap a stupid city boy that didn't tell anybody where he was going on the side of a mountain cliff, just so he could think he was going to die and then make a YouTube video. I don't know, but it did go through my head. And then suddenly, finally, when I thought I saw trees. Trees mean you're getting off the mountain into a forest area. Right when I thought the going was going to get easier, it started getting tougher. And still, take note, I'm still on the side of a cliff. Straight down, one-way lane, no end in sight. And as a little kick in the dick, the road started getting even rougher again. So now I'm still climbing, and the trail is getting incredibly difficult, including washouts. Anybody in a lifted, top-heavy truck like mine just loves washouts. What could possibly go wrong? And then finally, after driving all day long and stressing the last hour of the drive, at least, at the very minimum, I came to the forest. To me, this was a way out. This was going to get me out of here, and it did. The only issue with the forest is I can't really fly the drone all that much because of the trees. And to be perfectly honest, at this point, I didn't want to fly it anymore. I had been shuffling cameras around as much as I've been driving. It's amazing how much time and effort you have to put in with the cameras just to get this amount of footage. But I did it, so here it is. You're welcome, if you even made it this far in the video. But the forest roads were incredibly difficult to navigate. So the drone was pretty much out of the picture, and I thought I was pretty much out of the woods, so to speak. Not so much. First of all, going into the woods, I was thinking of as a refuge, like I'm home free. And then it turns out The trails went from sand and small rocks. No big deal. I'm cruising right along here. I'm actually trying to pick up the pace now that I'm not on the edge of a cliff and I'm on a, pretty decent sand road. So I'm engaging the supercharger, we'll say. And then the further I go, I'm on a cliff again, and the road is now nothing but large boulders, super tight. I'm squeezing through trees that other off-roaders have taken a chainsaw to so you can get by. And I'm on a cliff face once again, heading into I have no idea where. And if you pay attention, you'll notice that there is just about no sunlight left. But look at that ledge right there. Straight down again. I have no idea how I found this road. I have no idea how I made it through this road, but I did. But I'll tell you what, right when I thought it was getting easier, it got progressively worse. As you can see, even with the one camera running, look at the size of these rocks and look how much the truck is rocking and rolling. No pun intended. Look at this crap. The trail took me from Skull Valley to Prescott, Arizona. So whatever that trail's called is the trail that I was on. But it was the longest, scariest trail that I've ever been on, ever. And that's just how it is. At any rate, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment below, and I will return the favor. And for those that are under the people that just can't quite figure it out, obviously, I'm Richie from Boston. I thought that was pretty straightforward with my name, my voice, my face, my truck, my license plates, etc. And JailBreak has been a side project channel of mine for about 4 years. So there's that. At any rate, I'm out.